So did you know that Amber Heard has been going out and risking it all, trying to protest all of the injustice now? Yeah, apparently she didn't either, because this is totally fake. So hey there. Now before we get into this, I could use your help. This is our second comic book and we have 1 day and change remaining. Link is in the description. This is how we go out. We maintain sponsor-free living. We're beholden to no one. We can talk about stuff like this if we want. We could challenge a mainstream that has forgotten us. More on that at the end of the video, and thank you for checking it out and helping. Now, in order to show you this and show you the irregularities behind it, I want to show you AH's Instagram. Now, the reasons that I want to show you this are simple. Number one, I want to prove you this is a real post. The easiest way is to see it in context. And number two, I want to showcase what kind of pictures are here. So when we're talking about this picture, it kind of fits in with all the other types here, aka staged pictures. I mean, if you look at this, these things, they're set up. Someone's taking these pictures of AH because, again, that's the kind of person that AH is. So 7 days ago, she posts this, and it receives quite a bit of fanfare. If you look at the number of likes so far, you have 142,138. And if you read the accompanying comment, well, I'll leave that to you. What does this make you think? Standing in solidarity with those intent on changing a terribly flawed and broken system, and for those who are demanding justice in support of countless black and brown lives lost to it. I stand with all who are participating in this historic moment. Now, for me, when I look at that, it sounds like she's going out and she's participating in everything that's taking place. You know, in this, it seems to be the intent that it's trying to convey. Only if you look at all of the other Instagram posts, you don't get that feel. And when you look at this post too, I mean, really, is that what's happening? According to articles out there from places like Screen Geek, apparently some people, they took offense to this idea. And many have suspected the fact that this is a staged BLM protest photo. You know, because somebody out there, they're trying to get positive affirmation because of all the negative publicity that's been going on. The articles, they note this too, saying, quote, AH has already become increasingly more popular in a negative way following allegations that she abused her ex-husband Johnny Depp. That you have to take into context there, because negative way. Nobody wants that negative press because, yeah, that might cost you everything. Continuing. Now AH is stepping into the spotlight for a completely different reason. In an effort to supposedly, I like that word there, supposedly, support the recent BLM campaign. It appears that AH apparently wanted to highlight quote-unquote police corruption and even made demands that governments all over the planet should actually defund what she calls the quote-unquote systematically racist police force. Now those comments, by the way, they're attached to another piece of celebrity propaganda entitled I Take Responsibility. Now I'm not going to read this to you, but if you're curious, you want to freeze here, this is a transcript of what is said in that video, and imagine this coming from entitled celebrities stepping down from their ivory towers saying, hey, we're going to grace you folks out there. Why? Because it benefits us. It benefits us indeed. So with that as the backdrop, this was posted and a lot of things come up that make you question, like where is she here, for example? You know, the articles that you look at, they talk about her looking on for a BLM protest. Well, really, is that going on here? I mean, with this, you can see that she's supposed to be covering her face here. I would imagine that this cover has slipped down because you're supposed to get the fact that it's supposed to be shock, I suppose. And when you look at this police officer here, there are no identifying marks whatsoever. Now, more interestingly in this is a practice that AH always goes to. More interesting is a practice that AH always gets involved in, and this, it kind of gives away the game. So if you look at all of her pictures here, you'll notice a common identifying thing. She'll have 2 comments here, for example, 1 comment here, 2 comments here and on, because she only allows people that she follows to comment on her stuff, Everyone else is locked out. That way she doesn't get any of the negative publicity, anyone questioning her, because you know what would come up otherwise. So knowing that is common practice, we go back to this picture, and again, we have 2 comments within it. The first comment here, you have couldn't be more proud. The second comment here, I'm standing next to you. And well, when you look at that, people started questioning, saying, I wonder what that means. See, this article, it notes that. It talks about the 3 comments, and it notes that one of these comments, it is from her close friend, Trevor Patton. So this is a close friend of hers. And if you look closely at his picture, for example, the one that is his Instagram page, which was recently made private, some folks are suggesting he actually looks like it could be playing the role of the police officer standing behind AH in the photo. Hence, I'm standing next to you. So with all of that in mind, look at this picture here, and you tell me, is that the same person? See, I found that rather interesting. You have the comment there saying, I'm standing right next to you. You have this person ending up locking down their Instagram account after all of this stuff starts coming up. Again, it seems like you might have some type of controversy on your hand, like people went out. They wanted to weigh in on this subject for their own benefit. They staged something without telling you that, making it look like they're in danger, only they're doing it from the comfort of, well, wherever is close to home. Now, here's a little taste of the blowback, just to give you an idea of what's going on out there. You see somebody being called out here because they're going out into traffic trying to post pictures where they look like they're involved in Black Lives Matter protests. And here you have an add-on. And while we're at it, call out the real Amber Heard for this obviously staged BS. And you can see when that came up. Here's another one, too. Time for them receipts. In addition to being an abuser, AH is also a racist. And that photo is very staged and also weird. Why is she taking pictures with a cop in front of some graffiti? That's interesting. Why is that graffiti there? What are you trying to say about that neighborhood, AH? What are you trying to say indeed? So this, by the way, is the entirety of that post. You, of course, have the Instagram post with this, but also you have this. AH gives a puppy an Arabic name and laughs while calling it a little terrorist. Oh, fun times there. Fun times indeed. You can never, ever go out and virtue signal hard enough as a progressive, you'll always do something wrong and bury yourself. This is a life lesson for any of you out there. Continuing, just heard there's an ICE checkpoint in Hollywood, a few blocks from where I live. Everyone better give their housekeepers, nannies, and landscapers a ride home tonight. Oh my God, look at how that sounds. Everybody give your housekeepers, your nannies, and your landscapers a ride home tonight because ICE, they're going to focus in on them. I mean, that's not going out and throwing out any stereotype, is it? And this is the last one here. You can see this setup. Yeah, fun times taking that picture as well. The blowback to it, there's a lot of blowback to this as well. Couldn't happen to a nicer person, could it? Here's another post, by the way. You can see how that starts out here too. And others like AH who like to tweet racist comments like stereotypes are fun, also pretend to be quote-unquote activists using staged tone-deaf photos. L'Oreal Paris, USA. This is the person you absolutely need to fire, not this other person here. That didn't go over well at all, did it? AH says she supports the protests while posting a picture of her with a cop. She's a whole ass clown and an effing racist. That didn't go over well either, did it there? Is this going to be like the time you co-opted the hashtag #MeToo movement for personal gain? Do you have a history of violence against POC as well? Ooh, that might be a crazy one to look into, huh? You absolutely do, because you have a history of violence against all people, because you are just an abusive person. FAH. Oh man, painful there, isn't it? Well, look who decided to crawl out of her cave. Never forget who AH really is. And when thinking about that person too, and whether or not to believe them, remember their past history of faking other things for prominence. Here's Deposition talking talking about AH, an alleged attempt at faking a bloody nose. We, and certainly I knew from Johnny that prior to the wedding that on a night they had an argument. Johnny recounted to me AH went into the bathroom and came out with a Kleenex with red on it, saying he had given her a bloody nose. But after that incident, he retrieved the Kleenex, which he said he still has to this day. AH had placed red nail polish on the Kleenex. The general view of his friends, which I share, although we hardly knew the full details then, were that AH emotionally abused and tormented Johnny, cut him away from his real friends, and was emotionally cruel to him. He always seemed to live in fear of how she would act if he ever tried to break up with her. His family, friends, and I felt he succumbed to AH's demand that he marry her for this reason, among others like it. Sounds like a fun person, and sounds like a trustworthy person, too. But anyway, look at that picture, look at the friend comparison, and you tell me, is that stuff real? What do you think about it? I'm curious. So to close, this is our second comic, another case for the Littlest Umbrella, which is 40 pages of all ages, Lovecraftian goodness, in full color. We have a day and change left. The link is in the description. And this is how we can go out, talk about what we want, because we maintain sponsor-free living. We challenge a mainstream that does not like any of us anymore. We can either challenge it, or we can complain, or we can just walk away, and I don't want to give up to that. We can go out. We can make the crazies feel inept because they can't do anything about us, and we can make a good product to boot. I want to end this, too, by saying thank you. I appreciate you. You make these endeavors possible. People forget to say that all the time. I don't want to forget that because you're the people out there that decide what works or not, and thank you. I definitely appreciate you, and until next time, we'll see you soon.